What's up, Vape fam? Welcome back to the show, and today we are featuring another special guest, so let's get to it. What's going on, Lewis? How you doing today?
I'm doing just fine, brother. How are you?
Oh man, I'm doing great, man. You know, just hyped up about the vape world, as always. So, I like to start off every video with, what are you vaping on now, right now? You know, juices, mods, etc.
So I'm using this custom mod by Raft Mods. They're out of California. Everything, I have my Blue Lives Matter logo on here. I support the police forces. And then I have my Goon V1.5 on here with menthol melon by SUA e-liquid.
Okay.
And then I have my little Squonk Genius by Cthulhu mod.
Now, see, I've seen a couple pictures. I haven't had a chance to use one or, you know, get too much information on it. So how do them things work?
The whole premise of it is that it fits on any mod, so you can make any mod into a Squonk mod. And I like it. It's great quality. It's heavy. It's a very heavy material. It's great. All the grooves are clean machine finish. The only problem I had with it was that, as you can see, this is a black color option. I waited a month for it to come in. I'm overseas, so I understand the wait time, but I got it in the mail and it was black. So then I wrote a little bit of a bad review on their Instagram, and you know, when I posted it, I was like, you know, waited a month, but you know what, guys, it is worth it. I'm fine with it. But they actually emailed me and they said, oh, well, we will send you the proper color option that you ordered, which is stainless steel of no charge. So I'm glad they fixed that. You know, really made me happy.
So basically, it's just like a little Squonk bottle inside there, and you just Squonk, you just fill up your bottle and put your RDA right on top of it.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, I seen one not too long ago for like mechs that you could like, comes off and like makes an angle and you can put it on a mech and make your mech a Squonk. And I was kind of intrigued by that. Like, hey, that would be a kind of good idea, you know?
I've seen that, and it is like the same idea, but this I love because I just screw off my RDA, and right underneath that is two kidney slots. Two very big kidney slots you just put in your liquid, and it's just like that. You fill up this little bottle in no time flat. It's great.
So it's pretty convenient then. Alrighty, so everyone has a story about how they were introduced to vape. How did you find out about vaping? What was the story behind that?
So I used to smoke cigarettes, of course, and then one day when I was on my way to work, I stopped at a gas station and I just picked up one of those little like cheap e-cigarette, no big names or anything. And then after like a week or two of using it, I decided I wanted to go to a vape shop, see what they had to offer. I bought my first mod, and then ever since then I just kept buying mods. And then about 6 months ago, I got into RDAs and building my own coils, and I haven't been able to use a SUBOHM since.
It's you know, it's crazy, but I don't know. Everybody kind of looks at me because, you know, back, you know, a few years ago, I was you couldn't get me to use a freaking tank for shit. You know, like a tank. What the hell is that? No, you could build an RDA. But with my job, you know, we're out in construction. I work in construction. I deliver appliances, and you know, I was like, damn, man, this holding this bottle in, and I'm always getting juice everywhere, and it just was very inconvenient. So I was like, all right, I got like the very first Aspire tank, you know, the very first SUBOHM tank that came out. I started using it. I was like, man, this thing sucks, man. I mean, it's good, but it sucked. It was like, I don't know, it just didn't give you the vape experience that you wanted. And at that time, there wasn't no good like RTAs out. They just was, you know, all the RTAs out at that time was just garbage. You know, they all leaked and they just sucked. And then I ran across, I can't even remember what the first one that I got was, but I ran across an RTA that actually worked. It was good. And I started using that. And I was like, damn, this thing is convenient. I can just throw it in my pocket. I ain't got to worry. And now I just, like, I have a shit ton of RDAs, but I don't usually use RTAs or RDAs anymore. I just don't use a lot of them no more, just because it's not convenient. I'm always on the go. I'm always moving. I'm in the studio. I ain't got time. But I just don't use the RDA that I used to. Crazy, because I just don't have the convenience. I think the one RDA that I probably use the most is the Mesh by vanity vapes because it just holds so much damn cotton in that thing. I mean, you squonk on it, it drains the whole bottle in one squonk, and then vape for like an hour before you need to squonk again because it just holds so much cotton. Just saturates and just sits there forever. It takes so long to go through the juice.
Well, that's definitely the thing. It's all about convenience now. So you have more people using tanks, less people using RDAs. You go to I go to my local shop and it's all tanks, and I'm like, oh well, where are my RDAs? Where's my stuff?
Yeah. Hey, there's some vape shops in Colorado here where I'm living in that you go in there and they may only have 2 or 3 RDAs anymore. It's like they don't buy any rebuildable stuff. They don't even have a lot of RTAs anymore. So everything is SUBOHM tanks. Like, oh man, come on, SUBOHM tanks is all right, but I don't know what it is. The flavor is just so restricted, and people be like, no, it's all in your head. I'm like, no, man, I'm telling you, it just doesn't taste the same out of a
It doesn't taste the same. It doesn't taste the same for me. But the only problem I have with it is that I don't know if anyone else gets this feeling, but for me, I don't get my nicotine fix as I do with an RDA. So I'll use my regular nicotine percentage, but I just won't get it. I won't feel it with a tank.
I've heard a lot of people say that too, that they just don't get they just don't get it. It's like, oh man, I'm using the same. I've heard people that even up their nicotine for running SUBOHM tanks, and they just say, I don't get the feeling. I don't get that same hit that I do on an RTA or a RDA. I'm like, you're definitely not going to get it on RDA because it's going right into your mouth. There's no chamber, there's no nut. It's straight. I mean, what would you say was the hardest thing about making a switch from smoking to vaping? What was some of the trials that you went through?
Definitely, the weight. So I went from having this little slim cigarette, I went from having this no weight, that I would hold, that I would use to get my fix, to now I'm using this big bulky mod. I have to carry it around. I definitely feel that I'm carrying it. So that was probably one of the biggest challenges, because no one wants to fucking carry around, no one wants to carry around a mod. No one wants to do that. It takes some time getting used to. Or also it was just that I missed that tobacco flavor. Some tobacco e-liquids, some of them are good, but a lot of times, for me at least, it's definitely a miss, personally.
I can agree with you on that. I still, I vape menthols. I smoke menthols when I smoke, but I can't stand menthol now. Somebody put some menthol in front of me. But when I first started vaping, it was like, dang, I can't find nothing that resembles that menthol. It tasted like menthol, but it didn't taste like a menthol cigarette. They were close, but they never had that right thing. I had actually, and the vape shop that I went to, the very first vape shop I went in there, and she told me to use cinnamon. She was like, a cinnamon for some reason cinnamon just works, and that's actually what I had to do. I vaped cinnamon for probably 6-7 months, because that's the only thing that seemed to give me that feeling first that I was looking for. Real quick, I want you to think back to the moment that you realized that you wasn't a smoker no more. That moment that you said, I don't smoke no more. How did you feel at that moment?
I felt proud, definitely. That I didn't have to rely on that anymore. I had a grandfather who passed away from cancer, unfortunately. And my father smoked cigarettes. So, just knowing that I'm breaking that chain, it made me proud. That's all I could really say.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's real awesome. Now, vaping not only saves us from all the smoke-related stuff, that we go through in life, cancer, emphysema, all the different things, heart disease, but it also changes our lives in other ways. How has vaping changed you as a person?
Vaping has definitely made me feel a lot more healthier. I'm not as short of breath as I used to be as smoking cigarettes. I'll go outside, I'll be more active. I don't have to go outside after dinner and go get that fix. I don't rely on it anymore. I go a day without vaping and I'm fine. I don't rely on it anymore. It's all my free choice to do it.
Okay. Now, has there been any changes, would you say, in your mental, or not so much your mental, but you as a person, like, have you seen some things that, well, I know one of the things that we all, because, me and you met on Instagram, but, that we're two grown men that heart a bunch of pictures all day long. But, like, just things in your personality that might have changed from vaping.
It's definitely opened my mind to a lot of more things now. When I first started, it was kind of like, vaping, it's that weird thing everyone makes fun of, right? But then now that I started, I got so much more information into it. I have to sell cigarettes all day where I work. So I'm constantly dishing out cigarettes, all these brands, and, people will see me outside, just blowing a huge cloud, and they'll go, what is that? I have that information to give them, and I'll normally just tell them, oh, well, there's a shop right down the block. Just go ahead, they'll take care of you.
Hell yeah, that's cool. So what, you work like at a convenience store or a cigarette shop or something like that?
I work at a liquor store.
Oh, yeah. You're going to sell a lot of cigarettes at a liquor store. If there was, I know nothing is perfect. There's no industry, no person, no anybody perfect. We all make mistakes. Industries make mistakes. If there was one thing that you could change about vaping, or one thing that you see that, is wrong with vaping, what would that be?
Since I make my own coils, I feel that there needs to be some sort of one website or app, just something that whether you vape on SUBOHM devices or if you build your own stuff, just one place where we can all go from all around the world or wherever and just get that information, where we can all trade our information, our experiences, especially when you start getting into building more complicated coils like I'm doing. I'm trying to build a staple coil with multiple cores. I'm going to Instagram, DMing people, asking them, well, what do you do? What do you use? How do you get your proper resistances you're going for? And, people just say, oh, well, it's trial and error, If we could fix that somehow, that'd be perfect in my mind.
I visit the Vaping Underground a lot, and I don't know if it's a place that you know about, but the Vaping Underground is a site that was designed, and it's like a Reddit type of thing, but it just has everything. I mean, if you really want to get into that, it might be something that you want to check out. Just go, it's www.vapingunderground.com. And I think it's actually done by Vapor Joels and a couple other people. They put it together, and I think it's probably the best place for resources. You don't get a lot of that other stuff, but there's a lot of coil builders on there, and it might be something that you could really look at, but because you can just go in there and put, coil porn or, builders plus or whatever, coil builders, and it'll just bring you to like just so many different Reddit, people talking about it. So it might be something that you could look into. It's not perfect by no means, none of them are, but it's the closest thing that I found that, when I really need some information about something, that I'll go to and ask some questions. If there was one piece of advice you could give someone that was thinking about making a switch from smoking to vaping, what would that advice be?
That advice would be to just keep an open mind. Just make sure that you're going into it with the utmost, goal in your mind to quit smoking, whatever it is you're doing. I would tell anyone to use the salt and lick devices. I currently have the Juul. I've used other devices. They're great, especially for people who want to wean off of cigarettes or anything like that. Just tell them to get the ultra portable devices, keep it small. And then if you want to upgrade to using something bigger, later on, by all means, go ahead, definitely always keep trying and, just don't put it down.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. So, is there anything that you are working on or anything that you have in production of doing for the vape community?
Currently, together with my store owner, we're looking at opening up a vape shop, not in our town, because I'm right here in New Jersey and I'm right near one of our major highways. You go down that highway and I'm telling you, you're going to see 4 or 5 vape shops, man. You're going to just so many of them. So, you know, we're looking at opening up a vape shop. You know, I have some ideas going on in my head of what I want, just an all-in-one Vapers paradise. So as of now, you know, we're just seeing to get more investors involved in it. You know, also I have to clear him on a few of the misconceptions of vape, being to, you know, he'll always tell me, he's an older gentleman, so he'll always tell me, you know, oh, vaping's for the teenagers and the young kids like you. And, you know, I'll just go, well, you know, it's not really, man. I mean, you know, you got people, you got all age brackets doing this. I mean, yeah, you do see a lot of, you know, early 20s people doing this, but then, you know, you will see a dramatic leap of people who are in their, you know, early 30s doing this, or even, you know, 50s doing this, just because they quit smoking cigarettes.
I'm 40. And, I mean, and I've got people all the way from, you know, I've talked to people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, just basically all you gotta do is take them to Instagram and say, put in hashtag vape and just scroll through it. Look at all these people. There's people from every age bracket. And actually, the high, I was reading a statistic report on vaping the other day, and it says they're like 26% or something like that were over the age of 50, which is, you know, which is extremely good, because them is the people that are most likely to have died from a smoke-related ailment because they've been smoking for a long period of time. So where is a good place that people can find you if they wanted to get into contact with you?
Definitely on my Instagram. That's, you know, vape_patriot. That's probably one of the best ways to get to me. I'm always on there constantly, you know, putting that little heart on people's pictures.
Yeah, it's real funny, you know, a few years ago, I'd been like, I'm putting no heart in no picture, and I do it all day long, every day. Like, yeah, I like this picture.
That's how it is. That's definitely, that's all you do. You go through, you like a couple pictures, you know, you get that sense of pride when you post a picture, and then, you know, it's instantaneously you have like 30 likes, and you just go, oh shit, all right, you know, I'm going to keep this up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, everybody, I think that's something. We're going to wrap it up. You guys have a great week, and keep on vaping. Thank you for viewing. It means the world to me. And if you haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel yet, go ahead and do it now. And remember, vaping saved your life, so help vaping save more lives. Spread the word and keep on vaping.